Hey everybody, it's time for everybody's favorite game, Food Facts that'll blow your mind. You know, those colorful little cookies that look like tiny hamburgers? So get this, macarons. Might not even be French. I know, right? It's crazy. It turns out these fancy little treats actually come from Italy. That's right, Italy. They were brought over to France a long time ago by a queen named Catherine de' Medici. She was like, France, you need to try these. And the rest, as they say, is history. We are going to talk more of that later, but first. Welcome back to Ordinary Things Explained, where we dive into the history, fun facts, and even the darkest secrets of the things we use and eat every day. Now let's explore the fascinating and colorful journey of the macaron. Okay, so picture this. It's the 16th century, and Catherine de' Medici, this super stylish Italian noblewoman, is about to become the Queen of France. She's got to marry King Henry II, which, let's be honest, is probably a pretty sweet gig, right? But there's a catch. She has to leave her home, her friends, her family, and her favorite Italian bakery. Catherine's like, no way, I'm not going without my almond biscuits. You see, back then, macarons weren't the fancy, colourful things we know and love today. They were more like these small, chewy almond cookies. Kind of like amaretti, you know? Anyway, Catherine loved these cookies so much that she brought her own personal pastry chef all the way from Italy to France just to make sure she could still get her fix. I mean, can you imagine being that important that you travel with your own personal pastry chef? That's the life right there. So, Catherine gets to France with her almond cookies in tow and she's like, all right, everyone, listen up. You have to try these. And you know what? The French court went wild for them. They couldn't get enough of these little Italian treats. It was like the hottest new food trend, centuries before TikTok was even a thing. But here's the thing. Even though those early macarons were a hit, they were still a far cry from the colourful, delicate confections we know and love today. It took a few hundred years, a whole lot of French ingenuity, and maybe a sprinkle of magic to transform those humble almond biscuits into the iconic double-decker macarons we can't resist. Without Catherine de' Medici, the OG macaron influencer who knows what we'd be snacking on today. Maybe boring old breadsticks. Now let's fast forward a couple of centuries to the 18th century in France. Bakers are experimenting with all sorts of new and exciting recipes, trying to impress the fancy Parisian folks. Macarons are becoming more and more popular, but they're still a work in progress. They haven't quite reached their full potential yet. They're like the awkward teenage phase of desserts, you know? But then, in the 19th century, bam, everything changes. A legendary French bakery called La Durée comes along and revolutionizes the macaron game. They're like, hold my baguette, we're about to take these cookies to the next level. La Durée had this brilliant idea. What if we took those simple almond cookies and sandwiched them together with delicious fillings? And just like that, the modern macaron was born. Two delicate, colourful meringue shells with a creamy, flavourful centre. It was love at first bite. Suddenly, everyone's going crazy for macarons. They're the dessert to be seen eating, the talk of the town, the Beyoncé of the pastry world. But here's the thing about macarons. Behind their beautiful, colourful exteriors, there are a few secrets lurking. Secrets that might just surprise you. Okay, everyone, gather round because it's time to talk about the elephant, or should I say the almond, in the room. As we all know, almonds are the heart and soul of a macaron. You can't have one without the other. But here's the thing. Almonds, as much as we love them, come with a bit of a dark side. You see, most of the world's almonds come from California. And while California is great at a lot of things, sunshine, beaches, Hollywood, it's not exactly known for its abundance of water. In fact, California experiences droughts pretty regularly. And guess what requires a ton of water to grow? You guessed it, almonds. It takes about a gallon of water to grow just one almond. Let that sink in for a second. One single almond. Now imagine how much water it takes to grow enough almonds to satisfy the world's macaron obsession. It's a lot, my friends, a whole lot. So while you're savouring that delicious, chewy macaron, spare a thought for the water situation in California. It's a delicate balance between our love for these sweet treats and the environmental impact of producing them. But hey, let's not dwell on the dark side for too long. Let's talk about something a little more fun, shall we? Like, did you know that there's an entire day dedicated to celebrating the awesomeness of macarons? That's right. Macaron Day is a real thing, and it's celebrated every year on March 20th. I know it sounds too good to be true, right? But it's true. On Macaron Day, bakeries and patisseries all over the world go all out, creating special macaron flavors, offering discounts, and even giving away free macarons. It's like a dream come true for anyone with a sweet tooth. And the best part? Macaron Day isn't just about indulging in sugary goodness, although, let's be honest, that's a big part of it. It's also about giving back. Many bakeries use Macaron Day as an opportunity to raise money for charities and give back to their communities. Now, let's talk a little bit about the competitive side of macarons. Because believe it or not, the world of macarons is a fierce battleground, especially in Paris, where the best pastry chefs in the world go head-to-head to create the most innovative, the most beautiful, the most delicious macarons known to humankind. We're talking about legendary bakeries like La Durée and Pierre Hermé, two titans of the macaron world, constantly trying to outdo each other with their creations. It's like the culinary equivalent of a rap battle, but instead of diss tracks, they're dropping new macaron flavors. We've got classic flavors like vanilla, chocolate and raspberry, of course. But then things start to get really interesting. We're talking pistachio and rosewater, lavender and honey, even foie gras and black truffle. That's right, foie gras and black truffle macarons. The creativity knows no bounds. And the rivalry between these top bakeries is so intense that some people call it the Macaron Wars. It's a delicious, delicate and fiercely competitive world out there, my friends. Have you ever looked at the price of a box of macarons and thought, whoa, these tiny cookies are expensive? And you're not wrong. Macarons are definitely a splurge-worthy treat. But there's a good reason why they cost a pretty penny. You see, making macarons is not for the faint of heart. It's an art form, a delicate dance of precision and patience. It's like trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. One small mistake, and the whole thing comes crashing down. Getting those perfectly smooth, shiny shells with the signature foot, that's the little ruffled edge at the bottom of the macaron, for those of you who don't speak fluent macaron, takes years of practice. And don't even get me started on the fillings. The next time you shell out a small fortune for a box of macarons, remember that you're not just paying for the ingredients. You're paying for the skill, the artistry, the sheer brilliance that goes into creating these tiny, perfect bites of heaven. Now it's time for a macaron fun fact that's truly out of this world, literally. Did you know that macarons have actually been to space? I'm serious. In 2014, French astronaut Thomas Pesquet decided to bring a little bit of home with him on his mission to the International Space Station. And what says home more than a box of delicious macarons? I can just imagine him floating around in zero gravity, munching on a macaron and gazing out at the Earth. Talk about the ultimate space snack. I wonder if they tasted any different up there. Maybe the lack of gravity makes them extra light and fluffy, or maybe they taste like stardust. Either way, it's pretty cool to think that macarons have boldly gone where no dessert has gone before. And last but not least, let's talk about size. Because when it comes to macarons, bigger is always better, right? Well, in February 2023, the Al Hamra real estate company in Rouen, Kuwait, decided to take that idea to the extreme. They created the world's largest macaron display, and let me tell you, this thing was huge. We're talking over 9,600 pieces of pure macaron goodness. The macaron's preparation period took a month and 3 days, and it took approximately 260 hours using only 9 employees. All the 9,600 macarons were distributed to the mall shoppers to celebrate Kuwait National Day. What a way to celebrate a national holiday. This monstrous display was arranged in the shape of a giant Kuwait flag. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be the one responsible for arranging all those shells. It would be like trying to organize a bank vault made of meringue. So there you have it, folks. The incredible, edible journey of the macaron. From its humble beginnings as a simple almond cookie to its status as a global dessert superstar, the macaron has certainly come a long way. And hey, the next time you find yourself face to face with one of these colourful little treats, remember all the fun facts you learned today. You'll be the life of the party, or at least the most interesting person at the dessert table. There you have it. the sweet history of French macarons, complete with some surprising secrets and fun facts. Next time you bite into one, you'll have plenty of trivia to impress your friends with. Thanks for joining us on this delicious journey. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating deep dives into the ordinary things that make life extraordinary. Until next time, bon appetit. We are going to write history on our next episode as we're going to talk about pens. Stay tuned.